Good morning, everybody. We are live, bringing you some reggae music this morning. One of my favorites, of course, Born and Raised on it. We'll be right back in 2 minutes. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Yes. It's a wonderful morning to be alive, isn't it, everybody? Well, it's time to be back on the grind. I'm excited to be here with you, share all that I have learned in my absence. I am so excited to be here. And just want you to know that I'm recording live on my YouTube channel as well. So if you missed this recording or you want to tune in on my YouTube, definitely do so. I'm on Google Hangouts on YouTube. One of my favorite things to use, aside from Facebook Live. My gosh, yes. Monday morning, happy 336. 3 out of 365. We're in the 36th day in 2018. It's a wonderful time to be alive. Wonderful time. I'm just jamming, get myself in the zone. That's how I get myself going. Listen to some wonderful music. This is what I do, what I talk about when we engage in the arts. This is what Laws of Life is. Constant engagement in the arts, whether it be strings, percussion instruments, music, from verbally singing. Yes, this is what it's about. De-stressing, bringing your nerves down, or just feel good. Listen to some music. Man, my favorite. This is one of my favorite singers, Barris Hammond. Barris Full Hammond. Monday morning where everybody go back to work. I'm at work right now talking to you. Right? Ooh, messed it up. All right. So, again, welcome to the Laws of Life Studios. This is my studio right here. You're looking at what I do. That painting right opposite direction, right? That painting right there behind me is called Love Lines. And if you guys haven't really heard about it yet, I'm having a finger paint party for Valentine's Day. And that's the painting we'll be doing. I technically have a couple more pieces that I'm going to add to it to make it pop just a little bit more if it isn't already sensual. But I feel like I want to add some more to it before I actually bring it to the party. And look out for that one. The ad for that definitely is on my Facebook fan page, which is Laws of Life DSC Solutions. That stands for Laws of Life Deliberate Self-Care Solutions. That's what I do all day, every day, and I love it. And I live and breathe my own words, right? So while I was gone, I was working on my own deliberate self-care solutions for the situations I'm going through. And I want to introduce myself. My name is Anne Marie Talley. I am a professional finger painter. Yes, that's a finger painting on the opposite side that I keep forgetting. It's a finger painting amongst all the other paintings that I've done. And I am also a employee relations consultant, public speaker, and a coach. Those are some of the things I do. I'm also a blogger, but we're not going to get into that just yet. Today, I want to talk to you about paying yourself first emotionally. That's the program that I have come up with based on the deliberate self-care concept. We will be discussing all the information that I've researched thus far um, because of my passion for people. And I'm also researching this, everything. There's a purpose for it, for my dissertation, for my doctorate degree. So if you aren't already aware, I am in school once more to pursue my doctorate degree to, in 3 years, become Dr. Talley, Dr. Anne Talley. And I'm pretty excited about that. And some of the research I'm doing is literally, making sure that I'm able to bring this hard information for everyone to really understand how stark the data is when it comes to stress, disengagement, and happiness in the workplace. And if we're being affected in our workplace, we're actually being affected in our everyday lives. So it's very important to me to really address these things with the data behind it. And in the little blurb that I have up here for you guys, where it says, "Did you know?" I'm going to turn the burnout drip sessions into a "Did you know" session. I feel like I was missing some data, and that's what I'm going to add to it. It's the "Did you know" section right now. So did you know that 1/4, actually, I think I can, where is it? Read it up. Did you know that 1/4 to 1/3 of US workers report high levels of stress at work? Americans spend 8% of more time on the job than they did 20 years ago. 47 hours, that's actually 47 hours per week on average. And this is just the average. We're not even talking about those extreme numbers that are out there and how often you actually see that. But this is just the 47 hours per week on average of what's going on right now. And 13% also work at a second job, right? So if it's not enough that you're working at one job to really make a living, you leave and go to a different job, right? So in between all of that, even getting to the second job can be stressful for a lot of us. And so it's like 40%, two-fifths is 40% of workers say their jobs are very stressful. And more than 1/4, which is 26%, say they are often burned out or stressed by their work. This information, I got it from the CDC. This data was put together for 2017. This was 2017 information, really fresh off the press that the CDC reported, right? And we all know that the CDC reports on diseases and anything that's affecting the population of the United States. And this to me is getting to pandemic level. It's not a virus like the flu or the cold, but it's darn near close up there. Because when we get to the point of being sick, a lot of times it has to do with stress, right? So if we're talking the concept of time, which is the other thing that came up for me when I'm researching this data, when we talk about time and being you're kind of understanding what I'm talking about the burnout sessions now. Time is a very important concept to consider. All this time that the CDC is accumulating this data, this time has already passed. Time, by definition, is a construct that we created to keep ourselves in order. And time is a precious resource. We exchange our time for a dollar from an employer if we're employed through an employer. If we have our own business, like I do, I set my own time. However, the essence is time is exchanged for the dollar in many different ways. And if you're spending your time at a job that is stressful, which is 40% of the US population, and you're stressed out and you're unhappy, you're not getting that time back. However, the feelings that you attach to those past events of stressors, if those feelings are actually negative, that's going to be your demons right there holding you back from moving forward and feeling better, from enjoying the time that you do have right now in the moment, in the present. We're not even going to talk about the future. We're talking about right now in the present, because what you do in the present forms your future. So if 40% of workers are stressed out and burnt out at work, and more than we say 8% of the population is working a second job. There's a huge problem there, and I have a problem with that. I want to talk to you about, like I said, pay yourself first emotionally. That's the concept I came up with. And I want to advocate for you to consider doing some form of the arts. For instance, finger painting. That's what I offer. Come down, get to my website, and figure out what form of the arts you want to do by pursuing finger painting with me. Because when we do that, we actually unfold and engage and bring out skills that you don't even realize that you have. And in the midst of it, before you even realize it, you're actually happy. I have many experiences with my clients that just they're at the fighting point. Like, oh, this isn't even turning out the way how I want it to, according to how you say it's supposed to be. And I never tell anybody other than make your own image, what their paintings should look like. It always falls back to the default of what they're always doing. Laws of life breaks you out of what you're always doing, right? So you might have a set mode of how you do and do things in your life. However, I'm here to shake that up so you can pursue the things that you love in life, right? So I want to talk to you about the end game template. And on here, we're going to move on to my website. Unfortunately, I can't do screen share on here once I have started my broadcast. So for those of us that are joining me on Google Hangouts, I want to talk to you about what's on my website. Oh, there's too much going on there. What is this? I don't like that. I'm going to figure that out. Anywho, so on my website, we have the introduction and laws of life, of course, and art is healing. Art is healing in every single way. And at Laws of Life, the things that I do with you and my counterparts in the future when you sign up with us is, you find out that healing is created, is healing is creating and building with the arts. And with us, you learn to unlock and enhance your skills such as innovation, creativity, flexibility, and resilience. Those are the things that I teach in employee relations and my coaching sessions. And a lot of other indirect skills actually come from that as well. So we're going to create an emotional balance within your mind. And so you can move on to doing the things that you want to do, and as well as being happy at the same time. We believe that it is possible to be happy doing the things that you want to do, even if it's not something that you really, really want to do, but you're able to supplement that work that you're doing with something that you love doing in the time that you choose to do that, where you're not in today, other than the paint party, is the end game template that I came up with. My mentor recently spoke with me about starting from the end, what my end game will look like. And then I decided to create an end game template because it was so powerful to me. And the things that came out of it was very interesting. I realized that I wanted to have $1 million concept and company in the millions, I should say, in the next 10 years. And then I realized if I put that concept with Laws of Life and the Pay Yourself First Emotionally program, I realized that if someone works for 10, 15 years, 53 years of their lives, when you really look at the numbers, you're going to understand that over a span of 53 years when you're working, you're not taking any time off deliberately. And I love deliberate self-care. You're not taking any time off or anything like that. You'd have been spending 696 months of your life working in a stressful job. Say, for instance, like the CDC said. The CDC said that there is 40% of the workers in the United States in 2017 that reported that they are stressed out and burnt out. So if you do that for 696 months of your life, which is 53 years, multiply that. We're not even talking about going to work for overtime. We're talking about nearly 40 hours a week. When you multiply that by 1,920 hours, which is over the span of 12 months, what those hours would look like, you would be in the millions, more than half your life. You'd have spent being stressed out. Just plain stressed out every single day. And how many lives do you touch? How many lives do you touch? Purposefully or not purposefully, directly or indirectly? And we love to spread our stress, even though on our misery, even though, it's not intentional sometimes, but after a while it does become intentional. In the millions, I came up with that number. And that's why I came up with the endgame template. You can model this endgame template on your time that you've actually spent already, and then put a future number in it for you to really give you a perspective on what that would look like for you being stressed out. If you're a part of that 40% of the workers in the United States, you'll actually realize what you're using your time for. Is your time really that precious to you? Or is it it's precious to you no matter of what you're exchanging your time for? I would love to invite you to come and spend your time with Laws of Life Consulting and do some finger painting with us and our coping skills, school and classes, and really get back to being you. Come to the Love Lines finger paint party, which is going to be on the 11th of February at Paradise Place, and see what else you're able to do with your time. I will be honored to spend this time with you and help you to get to the other side of what not being stressed looks like. Because when we're not stressed, we have to replace that with something. There is no empty space. There's no empty space in there. And that's going to be another session we talk about what's actually going on when we switch things out. There's no empty space. Something is always going on, and taking space up. If you're not happy or sad or stressed out, something else is taking that space. And I want to help you wake up and be aware of that. So in the burnout sessions, of course, I want to thank you for joining me today, talking about levels of stress that's actually in the United States right now and what you can do about that. You can come do finger painting, come engage and talk with me, and we'll solve that issue. We'll turn it and transform those stressors into positivity, into power, positive power that you can use to move forward in your life. So I'm not going to do any paintings today. However, I might do that. Actually, I'm going to do that later on in the week on Wednesday. I'm going to send out a blast on that, where I'll be doing a live event painting at Paradise Place, which is where the paint party is going to be. I'll be painting live there, showing everybody what Laws of Life has, IMS and Laws of Life has in store for you, how wonderful it is to engage in something else other than work to rejuvenate yourself, right? Having a passion. So look out for that blast coming very soon. And I want to thank you guys for rewatching my video when you get to see this, right? So have a great day and look out for the next session, Burnout Drip Session from Laws of Life. Have a great day.